All right, folks, this is lowman02. At Michelle Wong's request for stories and or recordings of blowout matches, I've got one here for you for Bonus Magic Thursday, and we'll start the recording now. So this game is against JRogue, who is currently in this matchup on a JUND deck. As you can see, we're on a tribal theme deck. This deck specifically is ElfballAlluren, which is based around essentially a Primeval Titan Cradle Hoof type concept deck. That also has the ounce to winning with Alluren and Cloudstone Curio and an elf card drawing spell. That essentially allows you to draw the entire deck. I do not think of note we are favored in this matchup. JUND has an awful lot of colors that can very favorably interact for the opponent, JRogue in this case, against our elf weenie strategy, or our elf grow strategy that we have. So let's continue the record. As you can see, the opponent has a pretty strong turn 1 play in Elves of Deep Shadow, generating up to 3 mana for them on turn 2. We do go with Wasteland on turn 2 ourselves to forestall their game development and play out Fauna Shaman, which is available to us due to our own Elves of Deep Shadow that we've played. Alright, we see Wall of Roots, so the opponent is working out pretty nicely from initial mana screw due to our Wasteland. Our own mana is developing quite well. Just of note, this deck specifically, because of the large volume of mana critters and elf synergies in it, is a relatively low land count deck. I believe it's somewhere around 30 lands with the amount of mana ramp and elves that we have inside of it. So as you see, we continue to build up our mana base right now, or continue to acquire lands through cards like Sylvan Ranger. And really that's because we have Green Sun Zenith in hand, as well as the Eternal Witness for any other possible tutors that we find, given it does not have, as a Nabo or anti-strategy with, or anti-synergy with Green Sun Zenith. And oof, so the JUND value starts. We see Bone Shredder played on turn 4 for the opponent, and our Fauna Shaman is now gone, so we do not have the ability to reach out and grab our Primeval Titan, which will get us cards like Gaia's Cradle and Deserted Temple, which untaps Gaia's Cradle for more mana. So we've lost that card, and our ability to tutor for creatures is now limited down to the Green Sun Zenith. Alright, so this turn we really secure our mana production capability. Opponent chooses not to retain their Bone Shredder with the Echo, and instead plays a much more, a much more viable threat in the form of Thragtusk, if I'm not mistaken. And correction, last, no, this turn is Wood Elves. I believe next you'll see Thragtusk come down. Okay, so we randomly luck into our Primeval Titan. This deck only plays 3 6-drops, 2 6-drop creatures. Primeval Titan plus Soul of the Harvest acting as essentially a second copy of a Glimpse of Nature. So this turn you'll see us play out the Eternal Witness in order to get the remaining land that we need to play the Primeval Titan, and set conditions for that play next turn. At this point in time also, because we have drawn the Primeval Titan, we decide to cast cast Green Sun Zenith for Eldmeri, which gives the opponent the ability to reach over us because of it giving a universal effect of Forest Walk to all elves, which they have 2 of, but it also gives it to our own and gives them Shroud. So one thing I'm specifically worried about, and why I want to give my team Shroud, or my elf part of my team Shroud, is they produce a lot of mana at this point. I know that JRogue is on a natural order deck, specifically in Atarka colors, and 5 damage spread out across my creatures at this point in time would be a complete blowout, especially with my game plan being Gaia's Cradle. So we have an attack. At this point in time, I do end up blocking with the Primeval Titan, although I have a very strong suspicion the Primeval Titan is going to get lightning bolted or killed in some way, shape, or form. But because it's gotten me 2 cards already, the 2 that I really wanted for mana production, I'm willing to throw it out there and block the Thragtusk, because our life total is not high at this point. And as suspected, we have a natural order into Dragonlord Tarka. It destroys our non-shrouded creatures, including the Primeval Titan and the Eldmeri. So Forest Walk is no longer a thing for either of us. And at this point in time, I'm very unfavored to win the game, as the last card I hold in my hand is Fyndhorn Elves. So we're at a big mana, big ramp, but no threat hand at this point in time. All right, draw forest. Pretty bad off the top. We know at a minimum we're taking 8 in the air. We don't have favorable attacks, so we hang back and let the opponent attack. All right, and at this point in time, you'll see the opponent play something else out. I honestly forget what it was, but this is really where the blowout portion of the game happens. So we're at 2 life. The opponent's at 18. We are very strongly unfavored to win this game. We do have about 3 top decks, and you'll see that we get very lucky. Managed to hit one. Yeah, so they play a Gruul Rage Beast, further dropping us down on creatures and mana with Birchler Rangers off the table. Um, we're not prospects are not looking good. We're dead for sure next turn. As you see, we top deck Summoner's Pact, which we don't intend on ever paying for if we want to win the game this turn. Get a quick look through the deck. You'll see that what we're probably going to go for here is Craterhoof Behemoth. We do end up going for the Craterhoof. And due to Deserted Temple and Gaia's Cradle strat or synergies, we're able to attack in with a very large team of untapped elves that bring the opponent to -5 and win the game on turn 8 of the game. Very unexpected reversal inside the game, and very lucky win for us, and massive blowout for JRogue. Keep in mind, JRogue, awesome player. Um, he managed to pull off the Atarka strategy with a similar deck to this. I don't believe it was JUND colors. I believe it was just Stompy. While I was on mono white. Unfortunately, Johnny, that recording did not make it on Magic Online. If for some reason it ever does end up coming up, I'll ensure to post that one too, because it's a great blowout of white weenie aggro. But this is just a bad beat that I felt like sharing because Michelle had mentioned bad beats, and I definitely think this was one, and I got very lucky to have won this game and this match. Thanks all, and take care.